Hi, I'm Laurel Didier. I'm here today to tell you about closets and organized storage benchmark study that we do every year. And it's about the closets, garage, and organized storage professionals and the state of the industry. We had 150 responses this year, which was a good response for a very large study, 24 questions to be exact, and it asks a lot of information that does take some time. So I appreciate all the folks that did participate, and especially I'd like to do a big shout out to Hexagon Cabinet Vision for giving one lucky winner a full year subscription to Cabinet Vision's closet software program for design and manufacturing. So further ado, let's get on with the study because we've got a lot of information in a short period of time. So what do they sell? The projects are all custom in nature, as if you're listening to this, you already know that. But there's a lot of vendors that do closets. It's not just dedicated closet people or just garage dedicated people. It's also cabinet manufacturers, RTA manufacturers that get involved in the products. It's builders of multifamily or just residential new construction. And custom woodworkers, of course, which all get into that big, huge remodeling category. So this is just giving you an idea of the people that took the survey, the breakout, but it's a pretty good representation of the industry based on many years of doing this research. So we also asked them, do you manufacture? And that's just a question we ask every year to see if it's going up or down, if it's different. And it's 60-40, 60% manufacture, 40% do not. And that's a little bit different than a year ago, not a lot, but it may be explained that more people want to manufacture their products just because of the pandemic and supply chain issues. So that's something to keep in mind, and we'll talk about some of the verbatims that we got from this study later. So what are the top 5 projects that people are selling in 2020? And this has stayed pretty much the same from year to year, but the one thing that really jumped out was the home office has just, catapulted to the top, as everyone would expect, because our homes are no longer just for eating and sleeping. They are multi-use and need to be functional for homeschooling and workout rooms, you name it, but it's, 2 adults working from home and also having children that are going to school from home. That puts a lot of stress on the family. And if you can do things to make the structure and the functionality of their homes better, it's going to take a lot of stress off of those families. And this is going to go on for a while. So we need to be cognizant of the whole wellness factor. Favorite upgrades for closets and garages. Again, this didn't change a lot. The thing that I saw, the biggest thing was jewelry inserts for closets and islands. Those moved from much lower positions in previous studies up to the top. And I think, again, it's this sense of, the jewelry, it sounds so trivial, but we have a lot of jewelry. And it gets tangled and you can't find what you want. And if you can put it into nice little cubbies in a beautiful velvet jewelry insert in your drawer, makes mom a little, it's a little easier to find things, and it makes her feel better. And not only for mom, dads they have watches, they have ties, and all of these things can be rolled up in these nice little trays and kept organized, which is the name of the game. That's why it's called home organization. Woohoo! Laurel told the obvious. And in the garage, the one thing that stood out more from this year versus other years was slot wall. And again, I think that speaks to the multifunction of usually the largest room in your house, and that's your garage. So now if you can get everything off the floor, you have a lot more space to put your car, to put your sports equipment, to build a home office. Maybe that becomes your workout gym, depending on where you live. And the slot wall just helps you organize everything. And you're also seeing slot wall in rec rooms or basements because it's just a wonderful product that maybe doesn't get mentioned as much as it should, but it's so easy to just hang things on slot wall to get them off the floor or to get them out of crowded drawers or cabinets. So they're readily available when you need them, which is totally the name of the game. So gross sales in 2019, 2020, and 2021, it's only going up. So in 2020 over 2019, the things that stood out the most to me were the companies that were less than $1 million in 2019 was 76%. And in 2020, expected sales volume is 69% will be less than $1 million. And on the flip side, 12% anticipate being over $5 million, whereas that was 7% a year ago. So those are big numbers, and it shows how business is doing, and it's very optimistic. So, in this year, people are anticipating that their business is going to be better than 2019. 2019, they thought it was going to be better than 2018, but what they're expecting for 2021 is wow, boom, huge increases. 80% of the industry is expecting 2021 to be better than 2020, even though our own editor refers to the business this year as a surge, that everyone's so busy, but it makes sense because come 2021, we're going to have a vaccination. People are going to be more comfortable face to face. So the projects they put on hold in 2020 are going to open up in 2021. And all those new construction projects that maybe didn't start until July or August and are kind of dragging their feet because of the lack of supplies and the slowness of delivery are going to be rapidly moving in 2021. And so hold on, it's going to be a fun ride. We haven't seen a boom like this in a while, and I'm totally excited to be part of it. So average prices for projects. Also, even in a pandemic, the majority of companies that responded to this have raised their prices. There's a slightly higher amount that kept them the same as they did in 2019, which I think is, part of the whole thing that we're all in this together. So I'm not going to raise the prices, which I think is, if you can do it, that's great. But most people raise their prices, and the same percentage of 2019 people to 2020 decreased their prices. It was 2%. So the majority of you, that's why you're making more money as you're raising your prices. And marketing venues, always of interest since I'm in media. I'm always interested in what you're doing for marketing. And and the Closet Group is definitely a lot more comfortable with using websites, social media, spending the money to have a separate showroom, as well as, doing customer referral projects, exhibiting at home or trade shows. So they're very conscious of the need for marketing. It's always, as a media person, it's always very refreshing to see a group that understands marketing and and knows they have to invest in it. And as a matter of fact, I'm also showing you that the average spend on marketing is pretty robust. And kudos to you all for understanding the benefits of being a strong marketer and what it can do for you as far as bringing in leads. So, we had to ask the question, everybody's sick of COVID, but it's still here. So we did ask the question of what the biggest challenges were in 2020 for trying to do a business that's mostly face-to-face during COVID-19 and the pandemic. And the most revealing comments were a lot about the supply chain. The people that are selling to new construction said that sometimes it's the supplies from other vendors, like plumbing and electrical and things like that hold up a project. It has nothing to do with the closets, but the whole project gets put on delay, and here the guy's sitting there with all these closets ready to install, and the project is delayed or put on hold because of either state restrictions or just don't have the products yet, not ready. So that's a big issue. I also heard just supply chain totally is very, very stressed right now because of the demand, the amount of business. No one thought in March when things shut down that business would rebound as quickly as it did. And now you're sitting there in this surge for, people wanting new products and you're not ready with the inventory. So that's been a challenge, but I've heard that people are just, the closet guys, cabinet guys are planning ahead. They're warning their customers, for their expectations that, what they used to do in a week may take 3 to 4 weeks. You just have to be patient. But, the name of the game is if you manage your customers' expectations, usually people are pretty patient as long as they know what to expect. The comment always, is, under promise and over deliver. So, it's a good quality to have in all your business. So thank you for being with me today. I know it's a lot of stats, a lot of information. We have more. We're going to be doing a deep dive into all the numbers for cross-tabbing based on business classification as well as total sales volume. So that may vet some interesting findings. Please join us in West Palm Beach next June 8th through 10th. We will be opening up registration at probably the beginning of January. We'll be ready. We already have a keynote speaker, 3 plant tours, and it's going to be fun to see everybody. It's been too long. I miss my closet buddies and my cabinet buddies, and I hope you all stay safe and healthy. And keep looking to woodworkingnetwork.com for future events as far as webinars and podcasts. And also here on IWF Connect, we still have a few more presentations that we'll be making throughout the week. Thank you, and see you soon. Bye-bye.